Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
My name is Brian Peters. I'm the director of the Center for Teaching and Learning. I'm not going to do much in the way of lecturing today, so I just want to make sure we're all clear. This is about making PowerPoints better, more effective. I know that Andrea's been doing some research lately, and a number of conversations I've had over the last few months have made it pretty clear that folks are tired of the PowerPoints they're using. They want to make sure that the students are actually getting something from it. Vicky's going to help us, hopefully, make teaching a little easier for us and learning much easier for our students. So without further ado.
If you don't mind, I want to stay sitting down because I'll do a lot of work here on the computer and it'll just be easier for me. Some of the key points I want to cover today are about color response, animations, and sound, when to use it, when not to use it, and how to use them. Video, how to embed both YouTube videos into your PowerPoints and the Intellicom subscription that we have here at the college. How to use pictures, how to find pictures and use them in your PowerPoint. How to add your PowerPoint to Blackboard for your students. Some tips and tricks that I knew, some that I learned as I was doing my research. And then another program that can be used for PowerPoints or in place of PowerPoints called Prezi.
Say it again.
Prezi, P-R-E-Z-I.
Oh, okay.
We'll go over that just a little bit. It's a bit more advanced, but it does make a lot more interesting presentations. For the design themes, have anybody used the design themes in PowerPoint? Do you all know where they're at? You get a wide variety of choices through Microsoft. They give you those. They give you a wide variety through the Microsoft website. So if you're working on a computer that has access to the internet, there's a lot more choices that way. Some of the things you need to take in consideration when choosing your theme is your audience, who's going to be seeing it, how are they going to be seated. So for instance, in this room, I had not worried as much about font sizes, but I did want to do my colors, and I always do a white background or a really light background with a dark color. You can do the opposite also. Until I spoke to Matt yesterday, and he said, oh no, don't do that. He said the room you're going to be using, you have a camera, you have a projector, you have the windows, and a white background will get washed out when it gets sent to Arnold, for those of you at Arnold. So I had to go in and change my theme. One of the things you can do is you can change your theme at any time. So once you have it set up, that doesn't mean you're stuck with it. You get to change that at any time. You also want to take in consideration if you're going to have your students print the PowerPoints. You know, think of those colors that you're using. Make sure that if they print it, that they're going to be able to see what you have. I'm going to switch over to a blank PowerPoint. And for those of you who don't know how to do this, simply click on Design in PowerPoint, and you have a list of themes at the top. If you click the drop down, you have, I don't know, probably 50 or so PowerPoint themes that are built in. You also have themes available from office.com. All you do is click on that, and we're not going to go there today. Choose your themes. You can hold your mouse over any theme that you're looking at, and it changes it for you, changes your current screen to that theme. Some things to be aware of when you're looking at these. Some of these themes do not go with the rules. You know, the light and dark backgrounds. Let's see, the Apex theme. If I chose this one, we have a light, or kind of a dark background, and the contrasting color is not very contrasting. So even though it's built in, we would assume that it looks good because PowerPoint built it and they have, you know, how much money. They didn't do it correctly. They didn't do it based on the themes or the rules that we're choosing. Another one that I noticed, and I think it's on the Office site, is the macro theme. So be aware of that whenever you're choosing your themes. Make sure you do high contrast. The other thing that you want to look at is your font size. The rule of thumb is 44 point for your titles, 32 for your subtitles and bullets, no less. Depending on your room size, you might need to do even larger than that. If any of you were here back when Dr. Watts was here, you remember his PowerPoints and his slides always had, I think he probably used a 10 or a 12 font in the largest lecture room that we had. So it was really hard for the audience to see. So always make sure you use your correct font size, 44 for titles, 32 for subtitles, and bullets. Again, with the built-in themes that Microsoft has for us, it changes the font size for us. Some of the things you need to look at, it changes the font size to smaller sizes. Also, as you're typing your text on the screen, Microsoft also automatically decreases your font size for you to allow for all your text. So if it starts decreasing it too much, you need to split it into 2 or 3 slides. So those are some things to be aware of. Animation. You guys use animation? It's basically how your text appears on the slide. Some of the things to do is, you can have the animation come in according to how you wish the items to appear. I would not want this last line to come in first, and then the first line, and then the middle one. I want them to come in order. Transitions are how our slides move between slides. How the slides appear on the page. Do they just appear? Do they fly in? Do they scroll in? My recommendation, limit the number of styles of transitions you use. There's one option in PowerPoint that says random. And that lets you pull in. It does one different transition every time you change slides. And that sounds fun until your audience is sitting there and all they're doing is wondering how the next one's coming in. And that's all they're looking at. They're not concentrating on your content. So make sure you limit how many numbers of transitions you use. Sound. Every time you have a transition or an animation, you can have sound added to that. Only use it if it's necessary. Don't use it if it's not necessary. A lot of times your audience isn't even going to hear it. They're out there, they're talking, they're doing whatever, or papers rattling, and they may not even hear it. So make sure you use sound sparingly. Here's an example. I was supposed to teach this training today with another person, and he conveniently got called out to another meeting. So he's not here, but he made us an example of a bad PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you his example, and you see how many rules that he broke in creating his example.
You can't read it.
Too small.
If you saw my screen, this is a lot brighter than it is up here.
Oh, there's a typo.
Oh, lots. Oh, and just one more. Okay, so how many did we name? Did you guys count them?
6.
He used dark background with dark text. He did not capitalize where he needed to on his own name. He used really small text size, so it's kind of hard to see. On the red slide, he used a really bright red background. You didn't see it as bright as it actually showed up here. And he also used a lot of different colors on that slide. Spelling errors, always make sure you do a spell check. Animations came in an incorrect order. They were distracting. His graph was way too small for you to read any of the content, and the graph did not have titles. Okay, so any questions about content on the slides of the text, design? Yes?
So can you actually do spell check when you have it on the PowerPoint? I know in the past,
Yes.
once it was on there, you could.
Yes. When you're in a PowerPoint, at any time, review the spelling.
And it checks it automatically as you go.
Yes, it'll underline it in red for you as you're typing. So now it shows that I have 2 words, well, it shows just one. What's the other one? It's actually a word.
IT
Shows
is
one.
not a
Oh,
word.
there it goes, now it goes, there it goes. Took a moment to catch up.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you get into how do you get into the PowerPoint?
It depends on your computer. Most computers, you can click on the start button down here in the lower left.
On my personal computer you're talking about, or
Well,
one
I
here?
can't tell you how, this is here.
One here, okay, great, thank you.
So start, do you use Word on your computer here?
I do.
Same way you go to Word. Start, all programs, and you're
And
gonna
it'll
look for
come up
Microsoft
PowerPoint.
Office,
Okay,
and then PowerPoint will be listed there.
great, thank you.
If you don't have PowerPoint at home, or you don't have Microsoft Office at home, the college bookstore does sell it to all faculty staff for about $26, which is a significant discount than if you bought it in the store.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, video. I'll show you a couple different ways to add video, one through YouTube and one through the Telecom. I'll go through the steps and then I'll show you how to do it in real life. In YouTube, once you find your video, you would click the share button. Next, you would click embed. Now, when you click embed, you receive a box that has a code in it. We don't want that code. We need to click the other box that says use the old embed code. We copy that selection.
But will you say that again? Because I was writing.
We're gonna click share and then embed, and then we're gonna click a box that says use old embed code.
What's the story of that?
They changed the code and PowerPoint needs the old code, not the new code.
Vicki, are you going to post your PowerPoint?
Yes, Brian's gonna post these on the Center for Teaching and Learning website under the brown bag topics area. So then once you go into PowerPoint, you go to the slide you're going to add the video to, you click insert, video, video from website, and then paste. And again, I'm going to then demonstrate this as soon as everyone gets finished writing.
You first copy, right?
You copy the old.
While you're still in YouTube.
While you're still on YouTube. Now for both videos, for both YouTube and in Telecom, you still have to have an internet connection in order for the video to play.
Are you going to teach us the other way to embed without the internet connection?
No, because it's illegal to download YouTube videos to your computer.
Is it?
It's
Why
against
can we
their
do it-
copyright. It's against their
Then why can
copyright.
we do it to Blackboard?
We're not. We should just be linking to them. We should not. In Blackboard 9, you're embedding it. You're embedding it into YouTube. That's what you're doing.
Oh,
You're not. So you still have to have the internet connection to have it, which you'd have to have to be in Blackboard to begin with. Okay, so everybody has the slides wrote down? Okay, so this is the slide I want to add my video to. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to search for Absolute Cell Reference. This is a video I always use in my class. Click on my video. This is the one that I want to add. Down here at the bottom, I have share. I click share. It gives me a code. Don't want that code. I click embed. Use old embed code. Have to have the old embed code, not the new one. If you click in the box one time, it selects it all for you. Then you can do a Control-C, that'll copy it. Okay. Go back to your PowerPoint, insert, video from website, Control V will paste your code into the box. And insert. Now I can move my video anywhere I need it on the screen. And when I go to that slide, it plays.
Formula in Excel, it uses what's called relative cell references. And that means if you
Any questions on that?
What if you wanted to take up the whole
cells
screen?
that formula refers to.
You want to take up the whole screen? You can adjust your size of your box. You just want to you just cover the entire slide.
Can you stop and start that video once it's embedded like that?
Mhm. Yes. You have the same controls that you have in YouTube.
When you create a formula in Excel.
I have my controls down here. And I may not see them. May not see them until it starts playing, but you do have them. Okay, does anybody use the Intellicom videos that the college has available? Do we even know what that is? It's a subscription that we have for educational videos to be used for educational purposes. They're, Cindy, how long are most of them? Do you know?
Usually like 3 to 7 minutes.
3 to 7 minutes, so they can be copied into your PowerPoint. They have an embed link, but it gives you the new code that Microsoft does not recognize. So we cannot embed the Intellicom videos. We have to add them a little bit differently. So once you find your video in Intellicom, you click on the URL for the video and copy the code. Then in PowerPoint, you do insert, and instead of inserting a movie, you insert a hyperlink. Copy the code into the address box, and then we would type our text. So we're going to go out to the Intellicom website. And it's intellicomonline.net. And there is a Jeffco username and password to be used for this. You cannot give this to your students, so you can't have them log in. You have to embed this into a PowerPoint or copy it into your course. And I'm going to search for computer science and security issues and computers. Down here I have embed. Again, we don't want to embed. We don't want to embed. We have to do the URL. Brings up our code. We can click on the button that says highlight the URL. That actually selects it for you. Do your Control C to copy. Go into your PowerPoint. And this time we're going to insert. And instead of going to a movie or a video, we're going to insert a hyperlink.
Where do you click hyperlink?
Right up here.
Oh,
Right up at the top. So we're going to insert a hyperlink. We're going to paste our address in the address box. The box at the top is the text to display. This is what you see on the screen. So we may want to replace this text with now we have a link. When we start our PowerPoint, we have a link to our video. It goes out to the Intellicom website, logs in for us because we have authority to use that, and lets the students watch the video. Because again, I can't stress this enough, we cannot give the students the username and password for this website. It's only for instructors.
So now I know Dedrick used to have it where when you clicked on the text, it would just, the video would start playing, but we can't do that because of.
Not right now
No.
because they've changed the embed code,
Okay,
and the embed code will not work right now with the current Microsoft
so
copy.
then you just click the triangle.
Yes.
Okay.
Are the usernames and passwords something different than what we just signed into Jeff College with?
Yes.
So we need to get
Um,
them from you? Or-
It was sent out, I think I found my email from 2 years ago. Brian, do you know, well, I guess it wouldn't be on the website because it needs to be password protected. The username for the, is this video going to be on the website?
Yes.
I'll give the username and password to you later.
Okay,
How's
that'll work,
that?
thank you.
I think Karen Hester knows it as well.
She
So,
may.
yeah.
So you can call our help desk or. Any questions on video? Okay. Pictures, have you guys added pictures to your PowerPoints? How do you receive those pictures? Where do you find them at? Do you have them yourself? Were they clip art, or do you go to the web?
I go to Google Images. So
Okay.
I know, it's copyrighted. It's a problem.
Yes, you know if you use Google Images that the most of those images are copyrighted, meaning it's illegal to use them. So you should use pictures that are either available through PowerPoint or through the office.com website that gives you pictures to use, or your own content, your own pictures that you can insert. Let's say I find a picture that I want to use, but it's the wrong color. It totally does not go with the theme that I've chosen, and I want everything to be color coordinated. You can do that in PowerPoint. You can adjust your picture to be different colors. Or if I want to include a picture of a group of people, and I don't want the very last person to be included on that picture, we can crop them out. And by cropping them out, it basically cuts them off of the picture. Way back when, you had to have a separate software program to do that. You weren't allowed to do cropping through PowerPoint, but we can do that now. And it's really simple. But what I did up here is I used the original picture I found through PowerPoint. I found it through a clip art. Changed the color, and I added a background or an outline, and I blurred it. So it takes it and totally transforms that picture. And this is really easy to do. Let's insert a new slide. And we're going to insert, now here's where a lot of people get confused. Let's say I want a picture, but I want it from PowerPoint. I don't click on picture. Pictures are those items you have that you're inserting from your information. You want to always choose clip art if you're choosing it from PowerPoint. So I go to clip art and let's type in a computer. Or not. There we go. Okay, we'll type in computer. You're going to get very few results if you don't click the office.com content. Now, if you're not connected to the internet, you won't get anything from there. If you're connected to the internet, click on the check mark. That'll go out and it searches not only what's already built into PowerPoint, but everything they have on office.com that allows us to use it. Click go, and here's your results. If you're working in a computer lab and you have vision software that you can tell it not to allow students to have internet, you can't use the office.com content. Just a little note that I discovered this semester. My students were all on Facebook, so I turned the internet off for them, and then they couldn't use the office.com content because they no longer had internet. So I go through here and I have a lot of choices. Here's the one that I chose for today. So I click on it one time, it inserts it to my PowerPoint. Always inserts it to the very middle of the screen. Now I can move it wherever I wanted to. Once I have it here, I have my picture tools open. I can choose different styles. So if I want it to be a circle, I can choose a circle. So I already changed it. See, my picture tools have disappeared. It's because I'm not on the picture. I have to access the picture again. you go off the picture, you lose your picture tools. I can change my color. I have a palette of colors I can choose. If I want to see what they look like, I simply hold my mouse over it. It changes it for me. I can make it larger. I can do different effects. I can make it glow. Totally not the picture we first inserted, is it? If I want to crop it, if I don't want this bottom part, I only want to use the monitor, I can click on crop. Now I have these lines, these straight lines on all 4 edges. Drag it up. Now I've lost my CPU part of my computer and I only have the monitor. Okay, any questions on the computer or the pictures? Okay, we'll go back to PowerPoint. Okay, using PowerPoint and Blackboard. Always recommend to faculty to save it as a PDF. A couple of things for that is students cannot then modify the slides. If you have that worry, and they'll try anything once. So if you do it as a PDF, now I'm saying they can't modify. If they have the correct software and the correct know-how, you can modify anything, but they're going to have to really work at modifying it to do a modification on a PDF. Also, Adobe is free. Adobe is what is used to read PDFs. It's free. It's on probably 90–95% of all computers. And if it's not there, it takes 2 seconds to download for them. They may not have Office 2010 on their machine. So if you upload a PowerPoint, they don't have Office 2010, they're going to have to go through a lot more steps to get to your PowerPoint. And what are they going to do instead? I'm just not going to open it. Now the disadvantages, if you save it as a PDF, you're going to lose any of those animations and transitions that you had added.
I'd say form mine is a PDF, and maybe I did it wrong and you'll show me, but I had a student who had trouble opening it from his end, and he has, the Adobe Reader and everything. Do you know anything about that?
Sometimes Adobe Reader does get corrupted, and basically all they have to do is uninstall and reinstall. Because it's a free program, and sometimes it gets corrupted. Dustin, would you have any other suggestions?
Doesn't that really help out students that have Macs also?
Yes, because even if they have Office for a Mac, it doesn't always, Brian probably knows a little bit better than I do, it doesn't always work the same way. And I'm not even sure if the Office for a Mac has PowerPoint in it, does it?
It does.
It does. Does it open PowerPoint?
I haven't had any trouble with it.
Okay. But they may not have the software. So, if you don't want to, if you want to make sure everybody has access to it, then yes, it would help with it, everyone. Typically, most people who have a Mac don't want a Microsoft product at all, usually, and so they wouldn't want to have a PowerPoint on their machine.
We can't escape it though, so.
Okay, to save to a PDF, first and always save your PowerPoint first. Why is that? Well, if you only save it as a PDF and you need to go back in and make changes, guess what you have to do? You have to, no, not call me. I can't fix that one. You have to tell them to recreate it. Because you can't make changes to a PDF. So first and always, save it as a PowerPoint. Then, you simply click on File, Save As, and under the drop down for Save As Type, choose PDF. Now on your machine, you will have 2 files with the same file name. One will show as a PowerPoint and one will show as a PDF. Then once you're in Blackboard, you just add a file just like you do any other file, and it adds it into your Blackboard page. Another advantage that I didn't type on here, I just thought of, PowerPoints in Blackboard open into a new window. PDFs in PowerPoint open into the same, PDFs in Blackboard open into the same window. so they don't have to worry about losing it. Sometimes they don't see that there's a separate window open, so it kind of helps with those that might not be as computer savvy as others. Okay, here's something. At the end of your presentation, how many times have you ever clicked on the mouse or tapped the board because you didn't realize you were at the end, and all of a sudden now you're out of your slideshow? Add 3 extra slides at the end. Just duplicate your last slide 3 times. Then if you accidentally hit it, you're still in the PowerPoint, nobody knows. This was one of the aha moments that I learned when doing this. But this is such a great tip. Blank the screen. I'm talking about this, I realize that I need to talk about it some more, but everybody's writing down, or maybe I don't want them to write it down yet, or I don't want them to be concentrating on the board. All I hit is the B on the keyboard. It blacked my screen. I don't have to turn the projector off, don't have to turn the dot cam off. To get it back, hit the B again. Or if you don't like a black screen, you can use a white screen with a W and a W to bring it back. Some people have asked me this. There are no limit to the number of slides to put into a PowerPoint. You can put as many as you need to. Now, if you're saving to a PDF, sometimes it has a little bit of problems after about 50 slides saving to a PDF if you have quite a few. So if you're going to do, like I would say, over 50, divide it into a couple of PowerPoints before you save to a PDF. You can change the layout of your slide at any time. Like I said, I had all this all done, all my colors all chosen, and then Matt told me about the lighting situation in here, and so I had to change it. And I really should have changed it again once I got in here and saw, because you can't tell this, but this is really a green PowerPoint. And all you see is almost a black, just because of the color of the projector. Also, you can change the order of your slides at any time. So you're rehearsing your PowerPoint, you decide you want to talk about this before this. All you do is go into your slide layout, and you just drag and drop. So drag it over, now 14th before 15th. Okay, Prezi. Has anybody heard of Prezi? Have you used it?
I tried to, and I found it really cumbersome.
It's a really cool tool. We'll go to the website here.
Is it a free download? Or
It is free.
It's through a website.
It is free. Brian, you've created some with it, correct?
Yes.
I want to go to the home page here. We go to About Prezi. It's a cloud-based presentation, meaning it is stored out in cyberspace. You don't store anything on your computer. It basically gives you a zoomable canvas, so you not only are looking at one thing, but you can zoom in, zoom out of the canvas of your screen, and then it animates everything for you. I've used it just a real little bit, but I wanted to give you guys the option to look at it, to see what it is. We'll look at some examples here of what it really does. And this one doesn't have audio. So he's moving everything for us. This is one. Oh, there we go. Now we're zooming in. You can choose to have it animate by itself, where the student would not have to click the mouse, or you can wait, talk, click, and go to the next item. But it does give you the setup. You create an account, and then you get your basic palette, and then you start inserting your information.
The other nice thing about Prezi is that you can have groups at satellite campuses also edit the same Prezi that you're working on if you share it with them. So it can be a very collaborative means of a presentation as opposed to PowerPoint where you've got to save it, send it off. You can have real-time collaboration with Prezi, which is nice.
My problem with Prezi is it makes me dizzy. I can't watch it personally. And I thought it was just me until I had another instructor come to me last week and told me that they liked the use of Prezi, but they couldn't use it because it made them so dizzy they thought they were going to pass out. So I did a little bit of research. Oh, you really can't see my red. I did a little bit of research and I did find that this is a common problem, so I'm not abnormal. It does happen. So I would just warn you to be aware of that as you're creating them. If you want to create them, you might have some students that won't be able to watch it, or they might have some problems watching it. So you might check with that, check with your students to see if they can use it. I think it's a really cool tool, and it does so much more than PowerPoint because it does bring in lots of animations. But again, with those animations, it sometimes causes motion sickness to some of us.
Does it have any kind of a basic tutorial that walks you through it, or do you just?
Yes, Prezi does, yes. Okay, anything else you guys wanted to learn about PowerPoint? Did I cover all your questions or anything you came here for?
When you talked about design, are there some of those designs that you think are better? Is there one that you use a lot?
It's really a lot of personal preference. The one I use quite often are these with the white backgrounds. I like those. They just give a little bit of color, but they give me a lot more screen to work with. This one has, your title screen. You always want to go to the second one. The title one's going to have a lot more color to it. So if you're trying to figure out which design you want, you might want to go to the second slide or change your slide layout from title to title and content. And that way you can see what it looks like. But again, I can just simply hold my mouse over any of these to kind of get an idea of what they look like. But I like the white ones. This one's probably the one I use the most often is the executive one. It just gives a little, it's got a blue hue to it. It's got a little bit of color to it. Got just a little bit, this is all shadowed here. Again, with the projector we have here, we can't see it much. Okay, any other questions? Yes?
You said the pictures we find in Google Images are copyrighted and we shouldn't put those in the...
Most of them are copyrighted.
It depends on where you find them from.
Paintings from the Middle Ages are not copyrighted.
Right, right. You need to be aware
Tens
of
of
the
thousands,
pictures.
millions of things you can
Just
get
because
there.
you can find it in Google doesn't mean you can use it. So look at it always shows you the site that it came from.
Okay.
Look at that site. If they give you permission to use it, then yes, you're fine. Or like Andrea said, if it's, pictures of, what'd you say, the 18th?
Renaissance paintings.
Then you're fine. But if it's, graphics that someone created themselves and they've got it on their website, and maybe they're selling those pictures or...
There are a lot of free sites where you can just take graphics and all kinds of stuff that people put hours of work into, and they're wonderful, and they say free to use.
Yes,
And you just go out and
yes.
search for them.
Yeah.
Even ones with animation and all
Mhm.
sorts of things are out there available free for people who are developing PowerPoints.
Yes.
Fonts as well.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
are a
absolutely.
million fonts out there.
Yeah, fonts are,
Do you have any suggestions for fonts for readability? I know I see a lot of ridiculous script show up that's impossible to read, but
one of my probably best suggestions is to use one that's already just built in to, one of the things I find are that you'll add a font that you find on the internet and you download it on your machine and you use it and it looks wonderful on your machine, but your student doesn't have that font. So when they open up your PowerPoint, if it's in a PowerPoint, if they don't have it, then their computer substitutes it for something that they see. And usually they substitute it for the most basic font. Now, if you saved it as a PDF, it still retains your font, so that's okay. Yes?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Just speaking from my point of view as an older person. You should never use red for your lettering. If you ever notice, I read labels constantly because I am allergic to corn. And every label that's red, I've got a good vision, but I can't read it.
Wow.
So red is kind of not a good color evidently for, and the same way with if you have color blindness, which is a lot of men have color blindness, you should watch those colors, red and green.
Good point, thank you.
So,
Well, and from a visual rhetoric course that I took, the recommendation was for titles to always use a sans serif and for text to use a serif. Do you guys know what that means? A serif has those little lines under the
Right,
letters.
this would be a serif and this one would be a sans serif.
Because your eye travels more quickly if there's a serif, and you want to slow down for the titles.
That makes sense.
Any other questions or comments?
My favorite background is kind of a darker green with purple lettering.
We have a green one, and if we want, now, let's say we like the colors on, or we don't like the colors, we just like the style, we can always change the colors. So you have additional colors that we can choose. And then when we do our fonts, you can always change your fonts as well, you change your font color.
One thing about changing your font color though is that if you change the font color and then change the design, the color doesn't change automatically.
That
So
is
I found a lot of times problems when I was switching designs that, I would have to go back through and re-change all of my font, like
Not if you
highlights
use-
or things like that. And that became kind of cumbersome.
Not if you use the master.
If you use the master, yeah, right. If you use the master slide, then you're okay. But if you don't use the master slide, then yes, you have to change them. Yeah. But many people don't know about the slide master. Anything else?
Thanks for participating, Laura.
Yay!
That's all I had for today. If you have any questions later, give me a call, send me a quick email. I think everybody knows how to get hold of me.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, Vicki.